Hi. What we usually do, we give random tips, advice based on our experience, not because we're the best in the business, but what we've gone through. We've covered topics such as contentment, about just starting up, about your emotional state, and the list is endless. You can scroll through our IGTV timeline. This time we wanted to be more relevant on COVID-19 and how it's made an impact in practical ways. I think number one, the first thing that goes through any startup's mind is, oh my gosh, will my business still be, in business after 3 months? Number two, the next question is my business model actually strong? Is this business model based on a solid foundation, on, rocks? If you feel that your business model after the pandemic needs to be tweaked, it needs to be changed, it needs to be relooked, do it now. And if you just started within the first year, I think it's perfect timing. I'm not a negative person and I'm not always, optimistic and happy. I'm human. At times I also question myself, my focus, my direction. But what I love to do, I always love to see the brighter things. It's almost like a blessing in disguise. So coming back to the part, where I said if you're 1 year in the business, I think you can consider yourself lucky. If you've been in business in the third, fourth year, it makes it a bit more difficult. But maybe this is a blessing in disguise for you to reanalyze what are you doing, how are you doing, and if it is that you're doing is correct, is all right, how do you now tweak it with this challenge that we've overcome? Our line of business has always been communication at the forefront. Yes, we've been seen doing a lot of events, which wasn't the core focus, but I'm thinking about companies that have just focused their businesses on events, on appearances, on platforms that you need to gather a large crowd. Worldly example could also be, even Joyce Meyer, Creflo Dollar, Joe, that need to, pack in their church halls. It affects everyone. Doesn't matter if you're here or there, way up there. I would like to say that I'm glad that COVID-19 happened. Some may disagree with me, but I'm going to say COVID-19 allowed us once again to stop the busyness and stop the craziness. First year, when I started out, my year was like a COVID-19. I'll be really honest with you. It was like a COVID-19 because I took that time with everything that I went through in my private capacity. I took that time just to really sit, reanalyze, what am I doing? Number one. Number two, what matters the most to me? Number three, am I genuinely happy with what I'm doing at the moment? When I wake up in the morning, do I feel happy when I come home and I lay my head, on the bed? That was my process 2 years ago. My second process over 2 years ago was finding solitude. Solitude is so difficult at the beginning because that loneliness, that pain, that fear eats you up. It eats you up to a point where you question your existence, you question your being, you question, so who is Ilka Platt? What is the real purpose of Poya Media? Is it a nice to have or does it really make a huge difference? And I found this space where it was okay for me, coming from a background where I feed off of people's energies. I need to be around people. If I'm not around people, I get sad, I become uneasy. For me to have really embraced solitude, being alone, and when I say being alone, it's not just being in a room, not having anybody, but being alone to fight your own battles, being alone to make your own decisions, being alone to put bread and butter on your table. That's an experience that I had 2 years ago. That was my introduction, I think, to COVID-19. Now that everybody has come to a stop, not completely, there are still businesses that, operate, everybody now is forced to sit down, take stock. When I loaded one of the videos a month ago about allowing God to run your business, It's exactly the same point that I still want to reiterate. You can do as much as you want, you can plan as much as you want, you can do everything. But no man or no woman is control of their final destiny. You can plan to go this way. God will lead you back to this direction. If you take a detour, you probably take an extra 3, 6, 7 months, how many months it may take. But if you reach the same point to reach God, He will ultimately show you where you need to be. Latching on to my prelude to COVID-19 when I started my business, it also really tapped in my faith. I mean, I'm a reverend's daughter. Somebody asked me the other day, are you born again? Have you gone through this spiritual, transition? And I said, no. Being brought up in a household where it's just spoken about God, and not only just Sundays going to church, but living and worshiping every single day, it's now being more vocal about it. You know how sometimes it's like, you're Christian, you go to church, you speak about God in your house, but it's now about high time that you take it out there and you boast about it. And you are testimony to the miracles that you see. I mean, 2 years ago, I saw so many miracles with my own 2 eyes, and I said, Lord, you know what? I will continue praising. I will continue speaking of your word, be it at a function, be it in a boardroom, be it on a YouTube video channel. I will continue to do so, because we ultimately forget who gives us the power, who gives us the talent, who gives us the ability to carry out our work, and we put them in the back seat. So COVID-19, it crept up into me 2 years ago. It's embraced me to sit here today and appreciate that not only in my house is it quiet, but the rest of the operations, it's quiet, or it's not as busy as what it was. I want to wrap up and say that this should be an eye-opener. If you're one of those that says, I can't wait for after the 21-day lockdown, I can't wait to start my business. Yes, I know it's tough. I know it's tough for a lady selling kapana because she can't now sell, and now she needs to get extra money. But let's look at the broader picture, my people. Let's look at the broader picture. This has brought humankind to us. This has allowed us to reach out. We've seen so many corporates donating millions. Sometimes something needs to get forced out of our lives in order to see the bigger picture. Let's not live for our daily bread. Let's live every single day knowing that ultimately there is a real story behind this. I want to pray for everyone. I want to wish everybody luck during COVID-19. And the most important thing is up here. If this part of your body does not see any positivity every single day, your whole body can shut down. Your whole business can shut down. Ultimately, allow your team to bow down and kneel. I saw that beautiful video of, the staff at Checkers just kneeling at the counters. You don't see that every day, and that was beautiful for me. I loaded it on my WhatsApp status because it really touched me. And when I chatted to a friend of mine asked me, which Checkers is it? I'm like, I'm not too sure. But you know what? Why are we surprised by this? This should be like our everyday living. I hope that after COVID-19, praise and worship post on social media is not a phase or a season. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. Worshiping should be a lifestyle. Thank you.